So I'll test my Spanish here. So with Victor Villa.
Yes, Victor Villa.
How many people butcher that name?
Oh man, honestly, I don't really know. I hardly say my full name to people, and when I do,
But white people do, right?
Yeah, for the most part, it's either Villa. There's like a few that actually be like, "Oh, Villa." I'm like, "Nice."
Yeah,
Thank
oh,
you.
so you understand the language.
Yeah.
And now, so what do you call? Are you a rapper, singer? What do you go by?
So I do Spanish hip hop for now, or just hip hop in general, really.
Yeah.
And I stage name I usually go by Victor V. You know, I don't spell out my full last name, so it's just V for Villa, or Villa, whatever.
So that's kind of interesting. Like, what I've seen, I don't know much about the hip hop genre, but a lot of people use different names. And how come you just went with just your name?
Honestly, because I feel like that represented me more. Just because like I don't have aliases or even nicknames with friends like that. So like everybody just knows me by Victor, and I felt more comfortable than trying to, create a persona and try to live through that. Like I'm just more comfortable being myself, and I'm comfortable being Victor. So that's why I just went straight with my name.
Okay, who influenced you while you were growing up?
While I was growing up, man, now for hip hop, honestly, like the first time I ever heard hip hop was while I was living in TJ.
Yeah.
Back when I was 6, and I guess at that point my first inspiration was Eminem. Back in like '99 when he was like a huge star. So that was like kind of like my introduction towards hip hop.
Is he still relevant now?
Yes, but he's got like more of a grown up, mentality. So it's he's not as relevant with the youth, I would say.
Yeah.
But he's still a legend. He's still somebody that you would not mess with or not respect in the community. But aside from Eminem, after I started going to middle school, high school, and all that, there was a different array of artists that influenced me. Like I want to say from LA, definitely like your basic Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube, Dr. Dre. But I was also listening to like The Game. I don't know if you're familiar with The Game. Okay. And also like I was listening to people from the East Coast like Nas. Nas was like one of my favorite rappers because like his lyricism style was crazy. I don't do that, because not that I don't have the skill, but I just don't have the patience for all the metaphors and all that stuff. But I mean, I want to say Kanye, Pharrell definitely a bigger impact just because they're more into that like new school, like different, like gray area, gray Jedi type of MC or rapper. Like those two guys I feel like influenced me the most growing up than, the people who brought hip hop to my life.
Who were some of the first like Latin hip hop people that you were aware of
Latin hip hop, man, that was crazy because like growing up for me, like there was not that much people that did Spanish or Latin hip hop. But from when I was a kid, I do remember listening to these guys called Control Machete from Mexico, and also Molotov. They do like rock, hip hop stuff. Like Molotov was really cool, and also Cartel de Santa from Mexico. Like those three guys were my experience for Spanish hip hop back then.
What year was that?
These are still artists from like back in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. That was their time frame. But nowadays, there's so many different types of artists. There's like I would say the biggest one right now would be like Daddy Yankee, Bad Bunny, and like what's this other guy? Like J Balvin. Like these guys are worldwide and they do like Spanish stuff, but they're like more into like I guess more popish, I would say. But I mean, they still influence me. I still see their careers, and I'm like, wow, that's an interesting approach and a way to do it. Get a fan base.
Do you think the Latin hip hop was accepted into the hip hop community right away, or did it take a while for that?
Oh, it took a while, especially when it comes to reggaeton. Reggaeton is not really something that's looked into within the hip hop.
Okay, what is it? I have no idea what that is.
Reggaeton is just, oh man, I wouldn't know how to describe it. It's like, it's not like reggae, but the word reggaeton kind of starts from there because because they're islanders. It started basically like Puerto Rico or Colombia. I honestly don't know the history of reggaeton, but within the hip hop community, it's not looked at the same because reggaeton is more of a mainstream pop, while hip hop is like underground street. That's the only reason why I feel like they don't really combine just yet because it's just that pride thing, I would say.
Where do you categorize your style?
My style, man, I would definitely just put it into hip hop. I don't do reggaeton or pop stuff. Well, at least not yet, because I haven't had that moment of inspiration to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my style, I would say it's definitely more, I guess, conscious hip hop. Like I feel like within every track, I try to put out a message and not just.
Is there a common theme to your messages, or is it like across the board, just different subjects and categories?
Definitely different subjects, but
like give me one. Like, what's one of the subjects? What's the name of the song, and what is the message?
Oh, okay. One of my recent songs, it's called Pasos. This is Spanish for steps, and it's just a small story of the steps that I've taken because the song is in English and Spanish. Just to, like I said, show my steps, which for me was growing up in TJ, moving to San Diego, and later on to Oceanside, and just getting used to
working your way north, man, up to Hollywood.
Yeah, that's the next step. LA's the next step for sure. But yeah, just like that whole transaction of what it took for me. Like, I mean, I started young to do this hip hop thing. Well, at least in my mind. But when it came down to like family and stuff, like it was just all one big process. And I feel like that was part of my theme. Just show your steps within the song and just show your growth.
Do your songs mix both Spanish and English, or some all Spanish, some English, or is it?
Yeah. Well, I first started with just writing and producing English music. Then, but that was back when I was like in middle school.
Yeah.
But later on, I was like,
Do you still sing some of those old songs, like some of your first ones?
No, not in my shows at all. I still listen to them, because I have them in my.
You should bust it out, man.
One day probably. But no, I just keep them on my laptop, and I hear them every now and then just to be like, wow, dude, like that's been a big process and such a big growth. But I'm sorry, I got lost with
no, we're talking about like the songs in Spanish and English.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, yeah, I like I said, I started writing in English, producing in English, and then later on in my teenager years, I was like, I want to write in Spanish. I don't see or hear that many Spanish artists. Now I do. But then I also wanted to make sure that my parents could understand my music, be able to hear it and be like, okay, now I get what he's trying to do.
Do they only speak Spanish?
Yeah, they only speak Spanish. I mean, my dad, he's a college graduate down in Mexico. He has a English major, so he used to be an English teacher back in his day. So he understands English, but it's not, at my level, I would say.
Yeah. Did you grow up speaking both, or did you like?
I grew up speaking Spanish, honestly.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to really speak English till I was in middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you living here now, or were you living still in TJ?
At that time I was already living here in Oceanside. I was my what was it? I think seventh grade. Seventh grade is when I made my big leap and started just being here in Southern California.
Oh. So you're doing these songs, and what is your like goal with this? Is your career?
My goal at first, after I transitioned to Spanish, it was just to be heard. Honestly, be on the block. Like not to hit the radio stations, not to make a huge following, just to hit the block and reveal my message. And it's been accepted so far. Like where my parents live in TJ, like in the neighborhood, like people know me now. Like they're like, oh, yo, this and that, and they know me as a rapper. So it's cool. I think I've accomplished my goal. I've been able to have my parents, not just only listen to my music, but speak about my music to other people. So that's a small accomplishment, but big accomplishment for me, because I didn't have that support from them before, like where they're actually like, oh, you're just wasting your time with music. But now it's like, oh, you're actually doing something with music, whether it be just doing music in TJ or here in the U.S., but like they see that I'm actually doing it. I'm not just speaking out of my ass. Like I'm actually trying to pursue it. But bigger goal, I would say, definitely try to hit up like a big stage, like. I wouldn't know what kind of stage, like if it would be Lollapalooza or Coachella, just some big venue where I could just have a crowd of 1,000 people.
What's the biggest you've done so far?
Biggest venue, man. I would say probably here in San Diego, honestly.
How many people?
I want to say a room of 100 people. It was at the AC Lounge here in North Park, so it's not that big. So that's why it kind of got crowded. But that's the biggest crowd I've seen in one room, like that I felt was cool. I mean, I've done that in TJ, but I don't feel that same energy in the room as I do here in San Diego. Yeah, it's weird.
How long have you been performing?
I've been performing for the last 2 years now. Like I've been pursuing my music career, I guess, professionally for the last 2 years. So.
So doing something, even though, I mean, 2 years is a relatively short time.
Yeah.
But you learned so much in those 2 years. So what, if you just go back in 2 years and give yourself some advice that you learned now that you wish you knew back in the beginning, what would you tell yourself? Like for someone else that's watching you right now and they're, I wish I knew that at the beginning. Oh,
the first thing is, aside from just creating, is definitely getting in with promoters. Not so much the production. The production comes naturally, especially if you're already trying to pursue music. That's gonna flow. But to put yourself out there, definitely promoters.
Yeah.
Getting to know promoters.
Has that got you most of your shows?
Yeah, that's what gets you the bigger venues. Because knowing the DJs, that will get your foot to the door.
Yeah.
That will get you into the venue. You'll have a slot. But once you get to know the promoter, then they're it's almost like a marketing, like. They divide you into the thing the set that they feel that would be better and bring you a bigger crowd. It's just it just really comes down to the marketing scheme of music, the business.
Dude,
of music.
It's with everything because, like I said, I invented the Blink picture hangers.
Yeah,
best picture hanger on the planet. And if no one knows about it, no one's going to buy it. Mm-hmm. So it's up to marketing to get the word out there. So it makes the exact same sense, for music. Now at shows, I don't know, back in my day, people would sell, CDs and stuff at the shows. Do they do that anymore, or is it all just downloads?
Well, at venues, everybody tries to take their own product.
Have a merch table.
Yeah, everybody has their own merch table. They try to, because that's the main revenue, honestly, when you're at a show.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that.
I mean, yeah, there's the digital downloads, there's the digital sales, but like, it's a longer process, I think, than if you're just there live and you get the cash in hand. That's better for artists. Like everybody still sells CDs. I know people think that they're irrelevant now, which they kind of are because they're old technology. But it's always good to just have that physical presence. You're like, this is mine. Yeah, I own it. Like nobody could take it.
Is there any Victor V merch?
Not yet, honestly. Like, because I try to produce everything in house. Like,
like T-shirts, stuff like that.
No, not yet. Nothing.
You gonna?
No, all I have is maybe CDs. That's it. But I'm going to produce some shirts, and they're gonna be wicked awesome.
What are they gonna look like? What's the idea?
Crazy fonts and crazy colors.
Do you have a logo?
No, I haven't produced a logo yet. I kind of have something in mind, but I haven't fully developed my logo.
What's your thoughts so far?
Well, it's gonna be similar to what my signature is from my Lego papers, but just a little more tweaked out. Like I don't have like a color scheme, but it's definitely gonna be almost like graffiti style font where it's like almost bubbly / double layered with like a shadowing.
No, were you ever tagger?
I know. I love tagging. I just love art, but I've never had the skills to like actually do a tagging because I don't understand how.
I mean, tag and hip hop, they go hand in hand. It's like,
yeah.
There's incredible artists out there. I've seen some things, man. It's on the, just randomly out there. And what I like about that is like, it's not something like, I paint, I have my stuff in here. They just do it out in the public, and it's not theirs. It's the public's, and I appreciate that. It's kind of cool.
One of my first venues actually in TJ, everything was done in house. Like I paid for the stage, the lighting, the DJ, everything. Like
how much did that cost?
It cost me 10,000 pesos, but I did it like out in my parents' neighborhood because like I wanted my parents to assist to my show, so I just did it all outdoors. I grabbed a couple DJs and everything. I put it all up in a month.
Wow!
So, yeah, it was nuts, but it was
a lot to do in a month.
It was super cool. Like, I mean, it was a little ridiculous.
Did other people perform?
Yeah. I had other performers. I actually had I made these walls because I do carpentry and stuff and a little bit of everything here and there. But I built these walls for my friend, and we had them set up specifically just for taggers. So we hired a tagging crew just so there could be live art all throughout, almost like a small festival. Didn't work out the best. It wasn't a Coachella or nothing like that. But it had that vibe, where you see somebody tagging, making live artwork, and then you have the performers doing their thing. Like it was nice. It was pretty.
Was
cool.
it a free event or people paid?
Yeah, it was completely free. I even gave out beer. Like I just wanted people to be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really
like
cool.
it was just a really cool community gathering, and that was actually one of the steps that got me into my parents' neighborhood, and now that's why people recognize me out there too.
Because see, that's not a waste of money. That's an investment in your career.
Totally.
So that's a great move. You know, because some people would maybe say, "Oh, why'd you give it away?" It's like, no, it's marketing.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Honestly, like every now and then that I still pop up to the neighborhood, they're like, "Well, when's the next show? When you gonna do it again?" I'm like, "I'm working on
the
it."
next one, you know.
Yeah, next one I'm gonna be charging for tickets. Yeah, definitely. But that's coming. That's coming out there too. Like I'm looking forward to building that show. I don't have a date for it yet, but it will happen within the next year.
Do you get nervous when you go on stage?
Honestly, I don't.
Did you at first?
Maybe my very first time on stage for rapping, yeah. But no, I like as soon as I just hit my mental, like it's there. I'm focused.
Yeah.
Cause I mean I've been doing stages, I guess since I was in middle school. Cause I took dance class in middle school.
Real? What kind of dance?
I don't even know, like some weird, middle school dance. I don't. It was like instead of PE, you did dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This was in Oceanside, Jefferson Middle School.
Are we talking like in like one of those rooms with like the wood floors and doing all these like?
Kinda. It wasn't ballet though. It wasn't like that.
Are
but
you
yeah,
sure?
It's
It's okay. I won't judge. You know.
No, it wasn't ballet. But yeah, it was only 2 dudes in the dance class and nothing but females.
But see, that's people might think that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, for a middle schooler, yeah, it kind of was. It was a little slick.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely got looked at like, man.
No, you guys are gay.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't get nervous, because I started doing. I did dance, like I said, in middle school.
Did you ever mess up at a performance in dance?
No, I honestly no. Like
Yeah.
I've been good with choreography, luckily so far. And then in middle school, in high school, I took drama class, so that kind of helped me like not have a nervous.
That totally
breakdown.
helps being on stage.
Yeah.
I think that'd be more nervous being a production than being by yourself, because like it's like set on your stage, it's you know. But if there's someone on set, it might mess up the whole flow of something. So I could think that would be more nerve wracking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you were nervous, you know. Mm-hmm. What kind of plays were you in? Which ones?
Man, I think one of the most memorable ones that I have is I did the Grinch. I was the Grinch one time. Yeah,
Nice.
It was cool. It was super.
It's fun
cool.
to play the bad guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But and I was miming. I didn't even have lines,
Oh.
so it was even way cooler. So I just took control of the character. It was like I even made like the soundtrack, because it wasn't a long performance. It was like a 4-minute performance for I think it was kids from my high school. Not kids for my high school, but kids that went to my high school.
Yeah.
That were actual kids, like 5-6
Yeah.
year olds. So it was just cool to take control of the soundtrack for the routine, and also just taking control of the character with the miming, because like I said, there was no script, no nothing. It was just
Okay, so you had the soundtrack. So did you put music and sound effects to it, or
yeah. So like I think we put like it was like a Bugs Bunny or something.
all
type of
those
intro.
classic sound effects? Yeah.
So yeah, it was nuts. It was really funny.
I've been in a few plays, and it's like a rush. It's like a high when you're doing it. You know, you get that thing, and when you're done, it feels so good after you put this whole performance on.
Yeah.
So I remember, like when I was a kid, I realized this later. I used to have a lisp, and I couldn't say my R's.
Yeah.
So I talked like a little kid. You know, this is Johnny Whack, and they used to put me in all these plays, and I realized, they probably did that just because I sounded funny. You know, but it was like cute to the parents. You know,
Yeah.
like growing up, did they do that just because of that?
Yeah.
But I still had fun doing it.
Yeah, it was like a little comedy relief.
Okay, so now you're doing all this stuff. So you don't get nervous on stage, but have you ever had a situation where like things didn't go right, and how'd you deal with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've ran into that quite a couple of times.
Like what?
Just honestly, the main thing is forgetting lyrics. Forgetting lyrics on stage, that happens to everybody. It just happened to me a couple of times.
And there's no way to explain it, because it's your lyrics. You've sang it hundreds of times, but sometimes they just disappear.
Exactly. Like it really just depends on the scenario that you put in. Like the one time that I do remember that it was kind of bad for me. I was doing this Spanish show. Like I was like kind of like an American Idol, but for a TV show out in Burbank. The channel, I think it's called like Estrella TV, and like I said, it was.
We have people making noise back there. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, it was like almost like an American's Got Talent. It's called Tengo Talento, Mucho Talento. So like,
Okay, say that in English. I don't know.
it's like I got talent, lots of talent. That was the name of the show.
Yeah.
So I did my Spanish set. You know, I was in front of the judges and stuff. But like during my set, I forgot just one lyric, and like I skipped it, and it was super noticeable. You know, like there was no way around it. And like you said, it was my work, my writing, my lyrics. So it's like it's not like they knew what was the lyrics, so they were just like, sorry, dude.
Did that bother you for a while, or did you let it go?
Oh, I let it go. You know, it's just it happens.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I wasn't you know putting all my hopes and dreams just on that one audition, but it was a cool experience. So I didn't take it to heart.
What advice would you give to people who want to get into the music, hip hop, any kind of musical entertainment industry that you've learned so far?
Just be yourself, really. Like if you try to put up a facade, like it's gonna get difficult to maintain.
You can see it right away.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to maintain. Just try to be as honest as possible, really.
Yeah.
Because like, not nowadays with the internet and all that, like you could see that people are just
everyone. I mean,
Instagram.
They're
just faking it till they make it, and that's cool if that's what you're trying to do.
I don't think it's cool. I mean, it's like it's sad, really.
Yeah, on my opinion, it's a little sad, but to each his own. You know, but yeah, just be yourself, be honest, and just, I mean, the work will show. They'll see, your perspective through your show, because you blend with your art. Everybody blends with their art, and your personality shines through that.
Have you ever got some like not negative but constructive criticism that kind of hurt at first, but it was like actually the right thing?
Yeah, just a couple of things.
Yeah.
I think constructive criticism that I got is just like, just better up your flow. Because, I mean, some people have a certain ear for certain flows, and when they hear something that's a little different, they're like, maybe you should adjust a little bit here and there. But that's really the only criticism that I got, just like on my music flow.
I mean, there's people have hateful comments that just they're trying to hurt you.
Oh yeah,
but when people give you stuff that's like it like might sting a little bit, but it's trying to help you. I love things like that. When they're really trying to help you, and like sometimes the truth hurts, but it's like it's good words. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, some of those comments are kind of rare, honestly, because mostly everybody's just there for, try to hurt you, try to get your hopes down.
Yeah.
Like there is those few comments that are like, I like it, but you could work on this and this, and I'm like, okay. I like that. That means that you're not just out there hating.
Exactly.
You're actually looking out for somebody to be like, you could perfect your craft.
Cool. All right, so you brought a T-shirt in for me?
I did.
What do you got?
Yeah. Oh man. I got this T-shirt for one of my favorite TJ boutiques.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
One of my favorite Tijuana boutiques. I'm gonna let you unfold that.
What it is?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you unfold that.
Okay, now what is this? What are we looking at?
All right, so the brand is called Mexican Fashion. They're down in Revolucion.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most famous TJ streets, Revolucion.
Totally.
So that's where they're centered off from. This is your classic what is it, Donkey Zebra?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's one of their old designs. This is probably like a 2017 design, something like that.
That's cool. Everyone signs their shirts.
Oh, okay.
So you can sign this.
Oh, I'll sign this.
Sign it like right up here.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
And then we're gonna go over there. We're gonna let you pick out from the collection.
Oh man, I already messed that up.
Be working on that signature, boy.
Bam.
Cool. And everyone comes on here. They get the 24-pack of blinks. So now you get to hang pictures up as fast and easy as possible.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Blink.
All right, cool. Let's go pick you out a shirt.
Let's do it. I'm sure you can buy it.
You can buy it.
Yeah, okay. I think I got cash. Yeah, I'm taking this one.
All right, why this one?
Yeah, Boat Gang. Selling California Chargers.
All right, cool. Yeah. Thank you, Victor V.
Oh, thank you, man. Oh, this is awesome. Look at that. It's got the holograph sticker and everything. Look. Oh, this is rad.